In this video, we will show you how to construct the minor 7th and the minor major 7th chords and how to use them in progressions. You just heard a C minor 7th chord. The minor 7th chords are shown in notation with the chord letter followed by a small m and a number 7. The chord that just played is called C minor major 7th. This chord can be shown several ways in notation, but we will use the chord letter followed by a small m, then a slash, the letters MAJ, and the number 7. How do we construct these chords? Chords are created by using notes from a scale. The minor chords are created with 3 notes from the major scale: first, flat or minor third, and fifth. To create a minor 7th chord, we take these 3 minor chord notes and add a flat or minor 7th note from the major scale. This note is a whole step or tone below the root note. To create the minor major 7th chord, we take the minor chord again, but this time we add the 7th note from the major scale. This note is half a step or a semitone below the root note. Let's clarify this with an example. The C major scale has the following notes: C, D, E, F, G, A, and B. To create a C minor chord, we take the first, flat or minor third, and fifth, which gives us C, E flat, and G. The 7th note in this scale is B. This is half a step below the root of C. The flat or minor 7th note is B flat. This is a whole step below the root. So in order to create our C minor 7th chord, we take the C minor chord notes and add the flat 7th note from the scale as a 4th note. This means that C minor 7th has the notes C, E flat, G, and B flat. To create C minor major 7th, we take the C minor chord notes again, and this time we add the 7th note from the scale. C minor major 7th therefore has the notes C, E flat, G, and B. Let's now listen to C minor 7th, and then C minor major 7th to appreciate the difference in sound between these chords. The minor 7th can be thought of as a diluted minor chord. It retains a sad quality, but could be considered less depressing than the standard minor. For this reason, it is often paired with major chords because it is less jarring. It could also be considered jazzy because of its use in jazz music. The minor major 7th chord is a tense chord with a strange sound. It feels neither sad nor happy. Its threatening nature means it has an association with horror and thriller film soundtracks. Indeed, its use in the score for Psycho means that it is sometimes referred to as the Hitchcock chord. It is also utilised in the James Bond soundtracks to add that trademark unsettling sense of mystery. How can we use the minor 7th and the minor major 7th chords? Minor 7th chords can replace any standard minor in your chord progression if it is normally in the key. This means that in a major key, chords 2, 3, and 6 can become minor 7th. And in a minor key, it could be chords 1, 4, and 5. If you have turnarounds in your song that use the minor chords, you can lighten the mood of them by swapping out the minor chords for the minor 7ths. This can be useful where you want to contrast one section with another and hold back the stronger emotion of the full minor chords for a particular section. A good example of this would be contrasting a verse with a chorus, such as the following in the key of C major. If you want to transform your songwriting, then use the ultimate musical sketchpad, HookPad. We use HookPad to show you chord progressions and melodies in our videos because it is easy to use and intuitive. Click the link in the description below and see what HookPad can do for your music. Because minor 7ths add a 4th note, it means that more chords in a key will share notes in common. We can utilise this by linking chords that share notes. For example, Minor seventh chords can be used together by songwriters to create chromatic shifts. This is often used in jazz or jazz-influenced songs and involves a chord from outside of the key to create a step between minor sevenths. In this case, we use a flat 3 minor seventh chord to achieve this effect. This is a minor chord whose root note is half a step or a semitone below the 3 chord. In the key of C major, the 3 chord is E minor, so the flat 3 chord would be E flat minor. Let's have a look at this interesting idea in action. Minor sevenths also combine nicely with major sevenths to reinforce the smooth, jazzy feel. Listen to how this chord progression changes when we swap out the chords for major and minor sevenths. Now let's look at the minor major seventh chords. Beyond being played and held in isolation to create tension, they are often used alongside the minor and minor seventh chords to create a descending feeling on the same chord. This technique in A minor using the 1 and 4 chords could look like this. We can also use this technique to continue the descending feeling into the rest of a chord progression. For example, a great help with understanding minor seventh chords is the minor chord and the minor key. Click on the video on screen to further understand the minor key and have a go at using your new minor seventh chord knowledge to experiment with the concepts that you'll learn there.